fight. We don't have to kill. Everybody in the whole wide world really just needs to chill. No, we don't have to fight.
Welcome to a very special fourth episode of Just Chill with Oliver George. If you can't tell why it's special, well, my guest is really cool too, but it's also because we got this new camera set up, so you can do a single on me or a single on the guest, which my dad's going to be switching any minute now. He's really on the ball today. I give him half of a pumpkin beer. And, Jesus. We just recorded, for the record, a good, 15 minutes of pretty good podcast, but then my dad's like, oh, shit, I didn't turn the camera on. Yeah. But that being said, who cares? This is going to be awesome.
We should put that, in,
Yeah, maybe I'll use a secret clip later or something, yeah. Anyways, so my guest today is Gabriel Sanchez. I don't know. I pretty much still can't say your name properly, but we've talked about that. Yeah, you roll the R's much better than I do. And he is someone... Oh, actually, before we get into this, I have to do what I did last time when we sort of recorded this. If you want to reach us at the podcast, just to say what you think, talk about a cool guest you think we should have on, anything like that, justchillpodcasting@gmail.com. Hopefully it's not like a fuck you email, but I still might read it if it's funny enough. So, yeah, with that out of the way, I wanted to say you've been in Canada only for 5 months, you were telling me.
Yeah,
and
this is my 5th month, and...
I mean, why did you initially want to come? You said you just wanted to kind of explore the world, essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great place to be, Peru, right now.
Yeah, we should say he's from Peru.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm from Peru.
We did that the first time, too. We forgot to say where you were from. Okay.
So I don't feel it's a great place to be in this moment.
Is that like civil unrest type of thing, or
there's a lot of things going on. I mean, it's economic and it's politic and it's also like a civil unrest of because they say that it's okay for the outside countries because they say we don't have a lot of poverty and stuff like that, but how do you classify poverty? You know, it's complicated. There's a lot of people that are not able to go through the whole month with a minimum salary. So
a lot of people struggling.
Yeah, and they are not poor. They are middle class. But
has it always been that way, like when you were growing up there? Or
yeah.
Okay, so it's not a new change, some new government or anything.
No.
So you just wanted to find more opportunities, essentially?
Yeah,
and
but I mean, still right now, I'm just getting to know the city. I'm traveling. I mean, I have to travel for more than some months if I eventually want to move.
Yeah, you don't want to settle down in the first place you stop.
Exactly.
And you were telling me you were in Quebec before, but you had some issues because French is obviously more prominent there, and you're already,
I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of change happening already, right, coming here, so.
Yeah. I mean, I was not. I know how to speak English, but I was not used to speak it on a daily basis. So that was something else. But French, and I feel it's not just the language; it's the culture too. I mean, they have each of them. They have their ways of behaving in society and everything like that. And
yeah, for sure. I'm not French really at all. I know some French, but I feel that sometimes when I'm in Quebec too, kind of just a different vibe,
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against it. I just definitely feel like an outsider a bit, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not better or worse. It's just completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I came to Ottawa because, I mean, Toronto is unpayable, and let's not talk about Vancouver, but because it's...
Well, wait, why? Because I don't know. I mean, Vancouver is a place I would actually think would be pretty cool to live.
Yeah.
Just because less snow and all that, know, but...
But, the thing is that I'm still working in Peru, so I have to make the change, and it's 1/3 of the currency here.
Oh, okay.
So I have to think a lot about money. I mean, I wouldn't be able to pay a place in Vancouver,
Yeah, so you're just saying it's very high cost of living out there?
Yeah.
I've heard as such, yeah. And Toronto as well. Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal is, I guess, a little bit more
I feel it with Montreal, there's a lot of things that are cheaper and some stuff that are a lot more expensive.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
I mean, the transport card is $40 more expensive here.
Oh, you mean to get on the subway and all that kind of? Oh, okay.
I feel maybe groceries may be more expensive there, but the rest is cheaper. I mean, I was there like a couple weeks before I came here. So
Oh, you didn't stay there long. Okay.
no, yeah.
Oh yeah, you said you were staying with a friend you had met who had come down to Peru.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were saying that it just snowed today here, and that was the first time you ever saw snow, sort of
Yeah.
like up close and personal. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it before, like far up in the mountains, like.
That's not the same though, right?
No,
to be able to
because
play with it and
Today I woke up, I like opened the door and I just made a snowball and threw it to a squirrel.
Did you do it bare hands?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I hate doing snowballs bare hands. After a few of them, you're just like, where are my fingers? You can't even feel them anymore. But
And I just wanted to be like.
it makes me sound like a giant pussy.
You can't make snowballs.
Because my finger hurts.
Yeah, no. Shit, man. Yeah, it was definitely kind of weird how it happened overnight. Like, you go to bed. I was up till like 2 or 3 in the morning, too, and
Yeah,
I
me
didn't see
too.
any snow. And then I wake up, and it was like winter wonderland, you know? It was really picturesque, though, at least. This is
beautiful,
the
yeah.
nice time of year, honestly, for the snow, because you're kind of like in the Christmas spirit starting to come, and it's not too cold. You know, it's a nice balance. But once January gets here, it's like,
Yeah,
fuck.
I've heard. And then when it all melts and it's frozen and melting. And
That last year was sloppy, but I don't mind the spring because the spring is at least like shows the promise and the hope of like,
Yeah.
you know, good things to come. It's not gonna like reverse and turn back into winter, you know. So whereas the fall to me, it's beautiful. The colors actually this year were insane.
I mean, so far I've loved like fall. That was something new for me, like to see like a red tree and an orange tree. And
You picked a good year.
Yeah.
I actually heard there was something on the CBC. I heard that it was something to do with the summer we had, or some sort of weather conditions that made everything really pop, the bright colors this year, and it was just wow.
Yeah,
I found myself stopping several times and being like, I gotta take a picture on my phone. It's just everything's so
Yeah.
vibrant, you know.
And I don't know, like I traveled this year with these people I came to see in Quebec around South America, and I would thought that it was going to be kind of the same in the south of Chile and Argentina as it is right here, but it's also something completely different. Yeah, I mean,
Why, it gets cold down there?
oh yeah, it's super cold. Like if you go all the way down, I didn't went all the way down, but if you
But
go,
Chile, it's like almost near Antarctica. They have penguins and
yeah,
shit, right?
Argentina and Chile, they have like a tip, like it's like in the Antarctic.
That's actually on my little list of Peru facts, because I was surprised to learn that penguins are in Peru as well.
Oh yeah, Humboldt penguins.
Huh.
That's the name of those penguins.
And that just seems bizarre, because you were saying Peru you described it pretty nice weather-wise when we were talking about it. It's pretty
And I think they live in a quite hot place.
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the type of penguin. I'd have to
Yeah.
look them up. Yeah.
It's like
I was surprised to learn that, though. I did a little bit of
Yeah.
last-minute research. And
it's really cool. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they are in the north, like closer to the equator, so that's even hotter.
weird.
Yeah,
So just a bunch of like sun-loving
like surfer
penguins.
penguins.
Surfer penguins. That's a Disney movie waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Or probably already is one.
Someone's looking at the Disney producers.
I will point out one thing I was happy to, I think I knew this already, but relearn a couple hours ago, was that Peru is home to Lake Titicaca. Sorry, I'm 13 years old in my head still. That's like a Beavis and Butthead joke,
Yeah,
probably.
but it's funny because I didn't know that you also. I mean, you don't, but in French you say caca for poop. Like
Yeah, I mean, we say it in English, but it's just a baby word. Like, I made a caca, you know, it's more French for sure, yeah.
yeah, but we use it in Spanish too. Like it's
That's weird.
yeah.
You know, I had a Polish friend, and we used to play Mario because we were kids when we hung out, and he said that King Koopa in Polish was shit. So his name was like King Shit. I don't know if that's true or not. I never actually checked that. We didn't have Google back then.
That's amazing.
So what, like, do you find has been the biggest change between like your experiences in South America and your experiences in North America? And also, why did you not go to the States? That's another thing I was going to ask you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's some obvious reasons I would think with like,
Yeah,
just-
we should make another episode.
I don't want to hate on the States, you know,
of
but
why Gabriel didn't go to the States.
yeah, there's plenty of nice places in the U.S. I'm not
Oh,
trying
I know.
to, you know what I mean? Like, I would love to go to plenty of places in the States. Just the Trump nation's a little bit scary, you know.
Okay, so where should I start? The biggest change so far is how people relate to each other. Like I feel people here are much more distant. Like
really,
they are super nice, but like
not the same sense of community, you mean?
Something like that. But also I feel they don't want to compenetrate. I'm not sure if that's a correct word, but like they don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know if that is a word.
Yeah, I'm just.
No, I'm trying to figure out like which word you're looking for though.
Well, the thing is, I don't feel people get that close.
Okay.
At all, like, or at least it probably takes a lot of time.
Other than me.
Yeah, probably.
I've hung out with you like twice, and you've already played board games here, and now you're on my podcast. But I'm maybe not like everybody.
Exactly. I mean, and
maybe I should go to Peru.
Yeah, you should go to Peru, because I remember like going around South America. I was still feeling this, you know. I mean, there was social differences, but it was like I would still like go to places, meet people, and like hug people a lot, and like have like a lot of contact.
Personal space stuff more, yeah?
Yeah.
Or is it also like shirt off your back kind of stuff where it's like, oh, come sleep at my place tonight. That's totally fine. Like, I don't know, like hospitality, is that what you're saying sort of? Or?
No, I feel like I've even been offered. Like, I don't think it's about trusting or like feeling it's going to be dangerous to meet someone else. I feel people are really, really nice here. Maybe even, that's a weird thing. They are maybe even nicer than in Peru.
But it's just a different energy kind of like, interesting.
Yeah,
because we have a like notorious for being, you know, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. You know, like way too polite as Canadians.
I read something that they had to change the law for courts in Canada because usually if you say sorry for something, they would think you're guilty of the crime.
Oh, really?
But here they say, they always say, oh, sorry, even if they are not guilty. So they have to change that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But yeah, I feel it's a lot about personal space. I think that was the perfect way to explain it.
So it's just more like huggy, touchy-feely kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel you're not as bad as like I've heard like Japanese and Chinese people. They have like a different sense of like personal space.
Yeah, I think I've heard that as well.
It's cultural, you know. It's nothing best or worse than something.
No,
else.
exactly. And you never know when you're going to go to a place. There's things that are going to catch you off guard like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, in Peru, we usually, I mean, I feel that's like really sexist too, but whatever. I mean, if I say hi to a guy, we shake hands. But if I say hi to a woman, or a woman says hi to another woman, they kiss. Like, it's like
on the cheek?
On the cheek.
Yeah, like Europe style, kind of like that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just one.
Oh,
it's
just
not
one.
like in French, it's like 5.
Europe had to one-up them, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder who came up with that first.
Yeah. Well, they were pretty close. I mean, I feel...
But is that sexist? I don't know. I mean, like, even the term sexist in that binary form is, like, almost out the window now, too.
Yeah,
it's like, you shouldn't... Even if you can decide that it's okay and it's non-sexist to do the kiss as opposed to the handshake, then someone's going to come at you for assuming that person was a woman in the first place or whatever. So you can't fucking win anymore.
Yeah.
So all you got to do, in my opinion, is try to have your heart in the right place.
Yeah.
Be ready to apologize as long as the person's being reasonable. Yeah. And try to, you know, hear where people are coming from.
But, like, I'm going to say something that may be weird or...
Okay.
Like,
Proceed.
I don't know. Like, people... may think I'm an awful person, but like
I'm very curious.
I feel there's a lot of issues right now happening with the LGBT community.
Okay. In what way?
Because I feel it's really necessary because like they are isolated from a lot of like conservative places or establishments or whatever. But I feel in a perfect world, I think all those classifications shouldn't exist.
What do you mean exactly?
Because I feel
like it should be no one's business, kind of everyone just...
I just feel sexuality and gender and all of that is just like a big spectrum, and I feel it's not good to divide people more than they are already, you know? Because like you're divided by your gender, you're divided by what
your
you
nationality,
your religion,
for sure.
And I feel the LGBT, I mean, it's a safe place for a lot of people that don't have anything, and I think right now in this situation it's necessary. But
you're just hoping for a future where like we don't have to like even bring this
we
shit
don't have
up
to
anymore.
put people in boxes. That's the thing. I don't
Yeah,
like.
and that I can agree with completely, because I even think the same thing with like nationality to a degree. And if you say that kind of shit, especially in the States, I would assume you're like this unpatriotic piece of shit. Exactly. And to me, it's not like if I were to say that kind of thing towards Canada, it's not that I don't appreciate being born here. I of course do. It's not that I don't think it's a great country to live in. It's that I think the concept of countries and like you're talking about the division and just more classifications, more way to complicate things. I mean, it may be a necessary evil, but it certainly is confusing and it doesn't always feel right.
And I feel it's something like people governing us. They want us to be more distracted about smaller things, and right now, I mean, I'm going to talk about things happening right now in South America or Central America. There has been protests in Bolivia. There's a lot in Chile.
Okay. Over what?
In Haiti, like Ecuador, like everywhere around. And I mean, I made a lot of friends in Chile when I went there. And I have friends from Peru living in Chile too. And apparently, well, it dates back for a long time, because they had a military dictatorship in the 70s and 80s. It was terrible. They killed and disappeared a lot of people. South America was a crazy place in the 60s, 70s. But right now, it's an economic problem, so to say. I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but for example, in the States and in Russia, 1% of the population owns 20% of the wealth of the country.
Yeah, I've heard statistics like that, yeah.
And in Chile, 1% owns 33%, and it's the country with the biggest concentration on the 1%.
Oh, wow. So it's even worse. It's the same.
1% own 1/3 of the wealth of the country. That's a lot.
And is the other 2/3 in near poverty?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a lot of people that are not considered poor.
And it's a much smaller country too than say the States or something. So
yeah.
The impact must be felt even more, I would think, in a more condensed sort of region.
So, I mean, people can't pay the train or their food. They have to ask for credits to pay their food, and they don't have retirement payments.
So what is that? That's like a second world country, I guess, then? Because it's not third world if you're not like...
No, actually, Chile is supposed to be like a first world country.
First world?
Because
okay.
they have a lot of money.
I've never actually... there probably is a term of second world. Is that a thing? Or is... I don't know. You never really hear that, right?
Yeah.
There should be a middle fucking...
Yeah.
Zone.
But I think that's something that was created during the World Wars or something like that. Because there was the first war where the people participating in the war, and the third war were
Yeah, but why did they choose third? Third, or rather, is I guess what I'm asking. Why wasn't it the 12th world country or something even more?
Was people kind of being friends with the people in the war, but not doing anything?
This whole time I thought there had to be a second world country, and it was just somewhere in the middle between starving with flies on you and North America.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe Switzerland was a second world country in the war. I guess. I
don't know. Yeah. We need a historian up in here.
Yeah.
I don't think there was
a second war
level. It was either a have or have not.
Oh.
Only today do we have those who have progressed from third to second. Take something, a lot of the Southeast Asian countries like Thailand and Vietnam. They're very much coming into first, but they're not quite there yet. But they're not.
But they still don't call it second world yet, right?
No,
it's not.
It's not a term.
It's not a term.
Yeah.
Boom. We're gonna start it. Hashtag second world problems.
Hashtag second world problems. Yeah, I mean.
So I hope usually my dad gets picked up on the mics. I just hope that it got you probably. Anyways, well, I don't know. Just because if someone's watching and then there's this chunk they can't hear.
Yeah.
My dad was just saying there's lots of countries that are in second world sort of status, but it's not an actual term yet.
Yeah, but I mean, Chile is a country probably with the biggest economic growth in the last years in South America. And now that we are talking about this, I may go a little bit there. A big chunk of the fault of that was the States.
So now we're getting into why you didn't want to go to the States.
Yeah, we can mix both of them.
We're working our way there. Okay.
Yeah. Smooth. Neoliberalism, a lot of people say it was created in Chile as an experiment.
Neorealism?
Liberalism.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm not sure I know like a textbook definition of what that is.
Yeah.
Neoliberalism. What would that be? Like
completely free market without intervention of the state.
Oh.
So
that sounds kind of...
Yeah, it's like Mr. Burns. Like doing whatever he wants without any kind of...
Mr. Burns, Jesus.
Yeah, Mr. Burns.
Except he has lots of money. Oh, but you're saying, 1/3 of the population is kind of like Mr. Burns, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is that before this coup, this military coup in Chile, there was a socialist government. And some people say the country was doing really bad. But a lot of people also say that the country since the 1900s till the 60s, it was doing too good, and the states, they were kind of scared that they would be like a competition, like a threat for their empire thing going on.
So they sabotage them, kind of.
I mean, they did sabotage the whole South America at one point. If you, I'm not going to talk about this part, but you can research for Condor Plan.
What is it called? The Condor Plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
They started a lot of military right-wing coups around South America to make people hate communists.
And this would be back in the 60s, yeah?
Yeah, we had a military coup, but in Peru it was different because it was left-wing, so we were the only ones that outside of that.
Huh.
Yeah. But the thing is that after this, they killed the socialist president. They say he committed suicide, but it's ridiculous.
Jeffrey Epstein style.
Yeah. Kennedy.
The list goes on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, so they started with the coup. And from there was this American guy called Milton Friedman that was an economist from the Chicago School of Economy.
Okay.
And when they started bringing people to Chicago to study economy, and then they went back to Chile and they would teach economy that way. And then there was the coup, and then Milton Friedman went to talk with the awful military leader. And he decided that he was going to help him get the country a good economy or whatever.
Okay.
And it happened. They were 20-something years in the power. A lot of people killed, activists. It was terrible.
It just made it much worse, yeah.
Yeah. But the economy was good for the outside eyes, so to say. So it became a big capitalist country in South America.
This is Chile still?
Yeah.
Okay,
Chile. Yeah. And the states just did it because they didn't want more big left-wing countries, because China and
they wanted to
Russia
be top of the pile.
Yeah.
So you still hold a grudge?
Yeah.
No. I'm just joking.
I mean, I was born during terrorism.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't live through it because the leader of the terrorists was captured the year I was born. So.
Oh shit.
But still,
still crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I was born and I have pictures of me as a baby being I was bathed at a small basket of
just whatever they could find kind of thing.
Yeah, because they would blow up the electrical towers with bombs.
Oh shit.
And blocks and blocks and districts.
So they're just trying to barely survive.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, and we were having a good time because we were in the capital and it was much more it was safer, People in the highlands, they were they disappeared them by the hundreds,
Oh, kidnapping?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And it was on both sides.
I heard that was a thing in Brazil too, they kidnap people.
Oh, it's all around South America. In Colombia too, they had
Wow.
I mean, I feel people, they mostly know about Colombia, because of all these Pablo Escobar things.
Yeah, I just know it's a drug place.
Yeah,
Cocaine is.
Yeah, in Peru it was something like that, but like in Colombia, the drug dealers were above the terrorists, like the left-wing revolutionaries, and in Peru they were below.
Okay,
Yeah.
a little bit of a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was terrible, to be honest, but
Yeah, because you told me you had a lot of crazy stories in Peru. Just
Yeah.
what, growing up, your whole life, I guess you saw some crazy shit, or
yeah, the whole time, especially like late 90s, early 2000s, I was starting to use internet because it was just like getting big down there.
yeah, of course.
And it was weird because when I was like comparing between the TV, like cable TV or national TV, to the things happening in internet, I felt we were kind of like stuck in the past, you know?
Oh, weird. They weren't giving you the relevant, like, new information.
Not only that, but I feel that like respect for people, you know, it was a lot of, there still is a lot of racism, sexism, but like not even in a like casual way, you know. Like it was really intense. Like comedy was all about like bullying in a bad way, you know?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And well, that's the bad part. The good part is there was a lot of interesting creative stuff happening. Like we have a lot of like really kitsch culture, like color wise and music.
Well, yeah, because you're a musician and an artist. You pretty much like do it all, from what you were telling me, right? Like you sculpt and paint, and you do like visual graphic design stuff,
animation.
And then you play percussion. I know you said you were born with a cajon.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, and that was good. That culture, at least.
Yeah,
like,
I feel it was an interesting influence. The bad part is that all of that eventually got like gentrified. There was people like from like middle and lower classes doing all this amazing art, and all of a sudden there's like super rich people that never lived with this culture that are making money out of it.
Just appropriating it all. Yeah.
I kind of hate that, but
that happens.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucks for sure. Man. Okay, well, I was going to actually bring up some of these things that I looked up some facts about Peru. Some of these were just interesting, things that I didn't know and I wanted to see if you knew. And then some of them were things I was going to kind of actually test to see if you could. So I just thought this would be kind of fun. Did you know that Peru has the highest sand dune in the world?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Where
not the Sahara Desert. 3,860 feet.
Is it in Ica?
That I did not write down. This is all I wrote down. These were brief notes.
Yeah, it's probably in the south. At some point of my life, I was a tour guide, and
they have like dunes out there, though, for sure. Yeah. Well, they must. I mean,
we used to go into these dune boogies, like.
Oh, nice.
And then we would go like all up. Like,
yeah, I always wanted to go to one of those.
And then they would give us like sandboards, and we would like go down the dune.
Just ride down. That's awesome. Well, you could do that here in the winter. Just it's a lot colder.
With snow.
Yeah, it's pretty fun though.
I mean, I didn't even stand up. I was like just laying like that because I feel sand is more like it's scarier than snow.
You think sand is scarier? Yeah,
because it's hot and it like cuts you like.
Yeah, it's basically glass bits, right? Technically, and
if you fall in ice, I mean it's cold, but it like kind of.
Well, and snow has like an impact where it'll like sort of like shape to your body and take a bit of the blow, whereas sand I think you kind of just.
And once I was going down a dune and I like just went to a little like bump and I hit my face with the sandboard and, like I was bleeding.
Yo, getting hit in the nose sucks. There's 3,000 different varieties of potatoes.
I know that. Yeah, it's actually like 5,000.
So you did know this. Oh, he's like, he's like, where are you getting your facts? You're getting 2,000 potatoes on me.
Well, you said more than 3,000. So that's still okay.
Well, the thing I read
and
just said.
And the fun part is that like I know like less than 10.
Dude, I could name 10 types of potato. There's russet potatoes, I know. Yukon Gold. That's probably about it. That's 2 potatoes.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like there's.
I probably feel like we shouldn't list potatoes. We're gonna lose viewers. Just like listing potatoes.
White potatoes, yellow potatoes.
Yeah. You're really digging deep on the names there.
Yeah.
Russet and Yukon Gold were much more specific. Yellow potatoes. You said you knew 10.
We're not that creative, you know.
You were talking about Spanish. Obviously, you grew up, but I thought this was cool. I did not know you guys have 3 official languages.
In Peru.
Yeah. And do you know what the other 2 are? I was just curious, but I haven't even heard of these.
I thought it was just Spanish and Quechua.
So, okay, so that's they say it's Spanish,
Aymara
Quechua.
probably?
Aymara, yeah.
Aymara,
So
yeah.
those are the 3 official according to...
Well, it's great that it's like an official language. You know that...
Are they similar?
No.
Not even like remotely? Like they're all 3 of them are very...
mean, I don't speak the other 2.
But you've heard it, yeah?
Yeah, I've heard it, but I don't think they are similar.
Interesting.
And like most of the bulk of the Aymara population is closer to Bolivia and in Bolivia.
Okay.
And like they come from that side, and then the Quechua were like all across this side.
Well, that's still... I did not know that.
Yeah.
And apparently you didn't even know about the 3rd one, so...
I mean, I knew it was Aymara, but I didn't know it was official.
Well,
already, yeah.
again, this was a website I was on. It's not like... it wasn't even Wikipedia. It was
But
just some...
like one thing that it's amazing about Bolivia, that it's that this last president, like everyone has mixed like opinions about him because he's actually a dictator. It's like his 4th term, but it's also interesting because he made a pluricultural state out of the country. So like every culture, every way of living is accepted by the laws in the country.
Oh.
So like the Aymara people and the Quechua people, and then there's like the Spanish people.
Which sounds kind of not that much like a dictator in a way, you know. He's not forcing his views.
Yeah.
But he is forcing other
he's
things.
Aymara. He's like an indigenous Bolivian person. So and I find that's something that a lot of other countries should learn about, because we were talking about this before. I mean, they don't do it in Peru. They don't do it here. They like kind of isolate them in their like reservoirs. Or So I feel
just integrate a little bit more. Yeah. That's honestly the way I think we should go as well. Yeah. You guys also have the largest flying bird in the world. You know this?
The condor.
Do you know its full name?
The scientific
No, not the scientific name. Just it's not just a condor. It does have like a precursor in it.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's the giant Andean condor.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But I've heard that like they say it. They don't know if it's the condor. I mean, it's wingspan. I mean, there's like taller birds like ostriches and stuff like that. It is wingspan. But they say...
this is a flying bird specifically too, because obviously ostrich and stuff like that is going to be bigger.
Even like the wingspan, I moved the camera. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Just
the wingspan is like almost 3 meters. I think.
Condors are huge. I know albatross had really big.
I was just going to tell you that like some people say there's like some albatrosses like bigger than condors, but like they are kind of the same.
Bird battle. Have you ever seen one of those condors flying around and stuff when you were down there?
From really far. Like once I went.
You'd think you would see a big fucking 3 meter wingspan or whatever it is.
Like once I went to this place in a city called Arequipa. There's a big canyon, and you have to wake up like at 2 a.m. in the morning to take a car and go there while the sun is rising.
Oh, crazy!
And you may see a condor, and I didn't, and I was so like pissed about it.
You're like, it was in the fucking brochure.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's so cold that they have to live somewhere like the canyon or something like that.
They stay down low,
they go up and.
Interesting.
And they say some of them even go like all the way from the highlands to the ocean,
just to grab fish and stuff.
Grab fish, and then they go back.
Huh. Yeah, because it must be crazy to see one relatively close. If they're actually that big with 3 meters, is that true? 3 meter wingspan?
Yeah, I think it was 2
like
meters
18
and
feet or
something.
something.
And
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Man, I would think like this thing's gonna come and kill you.
Yeah, I can tell you about another fun fact about Peru. There's this thing that it's I I think the word will be like Creole, like a mix between the Spanish culture and the indigenous culture here.
Okay.
That, like, in Spain they do a lot of bullfighting, something
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
completely against.
Running
But-
of the bulls and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So in the highlands in Peru, I'm not sure if it happens in Ecuador or Bolivia. Probably they do that too. They get a condor and they tie it to the back of a bull, and they just let them fight, And then they have a bullfighter too.
What kind of a fight is that? Wait, they tie a giant bird to the back of a bull,
Yeah.
and then they just let them fight?
And there's a bullfighter too. Like,
What does he do? I'm so confused by
He's
this.
fighting the other two animals. Like, the thing is that in
This doesn't even sound real. Oh my god.
I'm going to show you pictures after.
Is this on YouTube or something? Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
for
What's it
sure.
called? What do you look up? Crazy condor
There's
bull
a
man.
name. I don't remember the name.
That's fucking
I'll
insane.
look for the name and we should put it like down.
But if they tie it on
in the comments or in the description, so
yeah, we
people
can post a link
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. Yeah. If they tie it on the bull, how does the bird have a chance? How does he get out if he's tied up? Well, he gets himself free with his talons.
I mean, the thing is that
He claws like the other guy's back.
if the bull dies,
What
the harvest is going to be good, and if the condor dies, the harvest is going to be bad.
Okay, so this has got to be old school.
Oh, but I'm not that old school. I mean, 1700.
Okay, but not like they didn't
like,
come up with this
after
in
the
like
Spanish.
1976 or something like.
1970.
I think it's gonna be a good harvest, guys. Yeah, no, that's pretty
Yeah.
messed up. I'm assuming PETA doesn't attend these.
No, I don't
Jesus,
think so.
that's pretty brutal, man. But hey, I'm not trying to judge other cultures.
I
you know?
hate it too. Don't worry.
Well, it's kind of fucked up just because a condor is probably I would assume on some endangered species list or something. It seems probably like.
And I mean, like, why would they care about the harvest if they are going to kill each other? Like,
Yeah. Well, the whole thing sounds insane to the point where I'm definitely going to look it up on YouTube because
yeah.
it sounds crazy.
yeah, look for the name in a bit. But
Not that I really want to see it, but you know what I mean? I kind of have
you,
to.
You have
It's
to
like-
see if it's real. I'm just like.
Or I'm
making
going to get a
stuff-
text from you like 2 hours later being like, yeah, I was totally fucking with you with the condor thing.
Yeah.
Shit. I was going to ask, do you guys have like, like how we have Bigfoot or like one of those would fall under the umbrella of cryptozoology?
We have
know?
too much of that to like.
Too many?
Even start.
Well, what's the main like the national one you would say?
It depends, on the part of the city you live in.
Okay, then what's the best one? What's like the coolest or most funny, hilarious,
I like
weird?
one in the jungle called the Chuyachaki.
Chuya Chucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I like his name already.
It's something like a shape-shifting demon.
Oh shit, that sounds pretty freaky actually.
Yeah, and I may be mistaking it by some other demon because there's too much. But if I'm sure with that, like, it can look like someone or like you feel familiar with, but it has like animal feet.
Like hooves?
Yeah.
Okay, like the devil or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So if you have.
But he's a
to-
shapeshifter? That's
Yeah.
fucked, man. That's way much scarier than I was.
So you have to check the feet of everyone you meet in the jungle.
Oh. Yo, that's super cool though. That's so fucking what I was hoping
I
you were going to
know.
say something rad like that.
And there's a lot of like I feel the jungle. I haven't been there a lot, and I'm really regretting it, because I feel it's probably the most interesting place. And for
Something you
example,
take for granted when you're there though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, there's like these pink dolphins in the rivers.
They're actually pink?
Yeah.
Huh. Why? It's just like a genetic thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that they were trapped because the Amazon, it used to go the other way before, like it went through Peru and it went inside, but then it was closed by whatever happened millions of years ago, and it went the other way. So
Weird.
probably they were trapped from the sea into the Amazon. Probably they had to change color for some weird reason.
It seems like pink would be like the worst camouflage color in all of nature.
Yeah, fully green place.
I was thinking maybe it was like the water or something that,
Yeah, because it's like all muddy, so you can't really see anything. So
That's weird though.
Yeah.
There's wild pink dolphins.
yeah, and they are supposed to be something like fairies in the jungle.
I'm still fucking mind blown that there's wild pink dolphins just swimming around in the Amazon.
The jungle is an amazing place.
Is that fucking real? Like, this seems like another text I'm gonna get in 2 hours. Be like, yeah, I followed it up with the pink dolphin thing.
Yeah, I may make something up at some point, and you're not going to realize that's happening because everything is so weird. Like, so far, everything is real. I can assure you.
Okay, next on the list. Okay, wait, yeah, I found out what your country's national drink is, and I was wondering if you know what it is and how to make it.
Pisco sour.
Yes. Okay.
You know that was made by a guy.
This is fun.
Born in Utah.
In where?
In Utah.
Oh, that's like one of the Mayan cities, or no?
No, Utah in the States.
Oh, Utah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Utah.
I thought you were saying Utah, like
yeah,
I don't know. So,
but
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, actually, like, it's made with eggs, like
egg whites. Yeah.
Lemon. What else? Pisco.
What's pisco?
It's a drink we have.
Oh well, okay, that's probably the grape brandy.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's I'll give you that one. You get points
grape
for
brandy.
Yeah, grape brandy is the first. You got lemons.
Yeah, because
you got egg whites.
It's like, we have amazing grapes down there, but like the wine is not good. It's not good for wine, so we make like a transparent, like vodka like thing. It's
Pisco,
like transparent white.
Because I thought this drink sounded really weird with egg whites and the other ingredients was sugar water.
Yeah, it's like that.
And then bitters.
Bitter, yeah. That's what we call amargo de angostura.
There you go. That sounds nice.
Angostura bitters, everyone uses.
Yeah, bitters it's just like something you add to drinks, right?
Yeah, that's a bitter thing.
Specifically, yeah. That I didn't even have that here.
Yeah, but actually, like, there's this stupid thing happening between Peru and Chile, and they like always fight for like where was Pisco created, and Chile say it was created there, and Peru said it was created
Interesting, because according to this, it's Peru's national drink. Yeah. So I wonder if I go to Chile, it's like, well, it's our national drink too. Yeah. Maybe they both claim it.
They have Pisco, but they have different drinks.
So it's not a sour, maybe, something else.
I think they drink Piscola. That's like Coke, like soda.
Oh, like carbonated. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
But they also do Pisco sour. But the thing is that for me, it's so ridiculous to fight over, like...
Yo, amen, man. Fucking A. All the shit that people fight over is usually ridiculous, especially social media and everything.
Exactly.
I was going to ask, have you ever drank a Pisco sour to wash down the delicacy that is guinea pigs?
Oh, sure.
So you've eaten lots of guinea pig, yeah?
Not lots of them. They're expensive, and I don't like it a lot.
No? What is like comparable?
Chewy.
I don't eat meat, like I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah,
but
it's like chicken, but it's more like, it's not that stringy. It's more like greasy, so it's like...
Oh, shit. Yeah, something about it being a rodent. Like, if I did still eat meat, I don't know if I would try it.
And it's like expensive, and it doesn't have a lot of meat, so I don't think it's...
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the animal you would want to eat, but I guess...
I've had a lot of... Like, I feel I'm ready to become a vegetarian right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've ate lots of weird things. I've ate, like, alligator and...
Oh, cool. That's kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. I love fish. That's something I
had shark once when I was a kid. My dad bought shark once. I remember.
Cool.
I have this vivid memory because the skin was like sandpaper, and that was so surprising to me. I didn't know, you know.
Was it good?
I mean, I was like fucking 7 or something probably, but I don't remember like refusing to eat it or anything. It was just like fish. I wasn't a big seafood guy growing up, which is interesting because now I haven't eaten meat in years, 7, 8 years or whatever, but I still eat fish sometimes, which is so weird because I hated fish growing up.
No, fish is like, if you go to Peru, like, you would be so happy because especially in the coast, like, fish is the only...
Oh, well, that's the thing. I still don't love fish. I just it's...
If you went there, you would love fish.
Maybe, yeah. Like, I've never been exposed to really great seafood. I was gonna say maritime food, but is maritime specifically Eastern Canada, or does that apply to all like nautical? It is? Okay, yeah, my dad's nodding his head. Okay, so not maritime food, but I'm sure they have great seafood out there as well.
I mean, apparently Peru won the best culinary destination in the world for like, I don't know, it's like the 7th time in a row or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish the situation in the country was as good as the food.
As the food reviews. Yeah. It's like 5 stars on Yelp, but you might get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Seafood for me, I always found like, especially when I was younger, I found like the smell was very off-putting, especially if I would go to like Red Lobster the few times that someone else would want to go there.
The thing is that we have this dish called ceviche that is raw fish.
So like sushi sort of, or?
Yeah, but like you put lime on it and it gets cooked. Yeah. It's so delicious. I mean, every time I see like some friend posting like a picture of their ceviche on social media,
You're just like, I want some.
cry.
Because you can't get it here as well, I'm sure, yeah.
I mean, also limes are like more expensive here because like you need a huge.
You got to buy a bag. Yeah, that's so annoying. I for seafood, for me, like I think fish is my reasons for eating and not eating food is very weird and very particular to me. Like it's very much based on my OCD, I think. And certain animals, most animals, I don't enjoy the thought of eating really because I just over conceptualize it while I'm eating it. I'm just like, guts in my mouth, and I just like now it's in my belly, and I just think about it too much. But
I read some time ago. I'm not really sure.
No, it's not on. Oh, sorry. I thought you were reaching for the vape.
No, I'm not really sure if it's true or not. But I read that when Disney started making like humanized animal movies, like vegetarianism started like rocketing because people were,
interesting,
like, relating like their feelings with the animals much more than before.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna eat this fish, but now it looks like Nemo or whatever.
Yeah,
like.
exactly. like. I don't know.
I don't know how many people are eating clownfish, but
yeah.
No, that kind of makes sense actually.
Yeah.
Just it humanized them, gave them more of a soul or whatever to people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Peruvian people cared a lot about that because we're eating like Mickey Mouse's cousin every day.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and eating meat comes out of necessity, right? Like most cultures that have really rich history of eating meat, it's because like that's the food that was available, and then it tastes good. I'm not going to deny that. Even when I ate meat, I remember it tasting really great sometimes. Just for me, again, I don't know. I have a really weird perspective because a lot of people who don't eat meat, especially people who go vegan, they're very much like behind the cause also in trying to like force other people to have the same dietary restrictions as them and jump on board. And if you're not like them, they fucking hate you. And I'm not like that at all. I just do my own shit because I have my own anxieties about eating this or that or the other thing. And it's also almost like a spiritual thing where I'm like, one of the reasons I don't like to eat animals is because I go, okay, well, I didn't make this life. I didn't create it. Feels kind of weird that I'm taking that spark. I mean, I'm not killing it, but you know what I mean? I'm contributing to that spark being snuffed out or whatever. But on the same note, if you eat meat, like I also didn't create you. You're just another creature of this world. So who the fuck am I to mess with your journey on this universe? You know what I mean? Unless you're eating people or something, then I'm going to call the fucking cops. But
yeah, I mean, I feel I can debate a lot about like eating meat or not eating meat and if you kill the animal or not or whatever. But I feel something that I feel I want to stop at some point is because of how it became such a cruel industry. Because even
factory farming,
if you eat meat, you don't have to like. I feel it's not necessary to make the animal live like a piece of nothing, like just a material.
Exactly. Yeah. Give them a good life at least. If that's going to be their ultimate fate, sure, everything has to die one day, but it's a lot more, and also making the death swift and painless. If like they've been
the most you can, because I mean, if you're in like wilderness, it's not swift. And
well, if you're a hunter and you kill the animal properly, it should be pretty swift.
No, but I mean, if you're like an antelope or something like that, and you're killed by a lion.
Oh yeah, well that's just nature. Yeah, but we shouldn't try to emulate that. We should try to be a step above, right?
Like I saw a video of a lioness like ripping the balls out of a. Like before anything, like just ripping his balls.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I saw that. Do you follow that site on Instagram, Nature is Metal?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I think it was there.
Did you see there was one a couple weeks ago with a fucking, it was a zebra that was being eaten by a crocodile, And the thing had its entire like skin from its face ripped off. It was basically like a horse skeleton face, but it was still alive because it hadn't been long enough, and that's not enough of a vital organ in your fucking face, I guess. I know, it's so hard to watch, but then sometimes I would watch those videos, not obsessively or anything, but if it would come up in my feed, it's like as a reminder of like, yo, this is...
I would much prefer to be a cow, you know.
Well, no more. This is the real fucking world to a degree. Like, we are more civilized, we are human, but at a base level, that's nature. It's gonna like, and not always in that exact way, but you got to look out, you know, like.
Yeah, and right now we are safe from that, but if you're thrown like naked without anything to like the jungle, like.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
No, but if there was like even like a post-apocalyptic type of situation, people would go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There'd be so many people who would just like, there's so many people who probably are already hoping shit like that's going to happen that want to live in like a Walking Dead scenario so they can have no rules and go crazy. But
every day I feel like Mad Max is less and less fiction for me.
More possible. Yeah, one day. Shit. Let's hope not. Jesus.
There's a saying, right? Civilization is a very thin veneer.
That's true.
That's completely true. I feel we are all like, there's a big chunk of people just not doing bad stuff because they don't want to go to jail. But they would do it if they were able to. So that's scary. Like.
Yeah. You want to know something I heard yesterday that's kind of weird on this topic about people doing bad things? I mean, I don't want to shame this person, but Kelly was watching something on Netflix. It was this cooking show, this guy where he travels, and he each episode he hangs out with a different celebrity. I think his name was David Wang or something like that. He was a cool guy, like cool show. First one was with Seth Rogen, but then the next one was with Chrissy Teigen. You know, she's married to John Legend and all that. Yeah. And at one point when they were like eating some kind of meat out there, she like flat out, not joking, was like said she would try human meat if like it was like in a fancy restaurant and someone else like, what the fuck? How is this not on like the news that Chrissy Teigen admits to being a fucking cannibal?
Yeah, and
I don't know.
I also saw this thing like happening a lot in early internet where you didn't know if things were real or not. Like these pictures of like Asian people eating like unborn babies.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
On a grill.
Wait, where did you see this?
On early internet.
Oh, really? Okay, so I don't know. It could have been bullshit. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, though, because, like, if you want to go even before early internet, you've heard of, like, Faces of Death?
Yeah. Oh, no.
We used to watch those on VHS when we were kids. Do you know what Faces of Death is? It was the first time I saw a real one. Someone still had it on VHS, but at this time it was, like, 2001. Like, VHS was on the way out, so you could tell it was, like, somebody's older brother had it from the 80s or something. But it was a video that got passed around that purportedly had real death videos. And there was one where they're eating like a monkey's brain out of, it was like a delicacy in some country apparently, and they're eating him while he's alive and shit like that. Anyways, it's been debunked in a lot of ways where now they can point out everything that was real and what wasn't, and like 80% of them are like things that were filmed to look like that. Yeah. But there is some real shit in them. So
I remember there was
really
this
fucked up,
thing
though.
with the guy in the like electric chair with.
Oh, was that real though, or that might have been bullshit? Yeah. The one there's that news. You probably fucking know this. There was a guy who shot himself on the news. He was like in the States in the 80s or something, Bud something. And he was going to be fucked over in court, and his life was over, I guess, as he thought. I don't know the details, but he went to do some press conference, and then he pulled out a fucking Magnum or something and blew his brains out. And it was live, so they...
something like that happened not long ago. Like, I think this guy from the Bosnian War or something like that drank some poison and...
Like, on the news? Oh, shit.
During his court, like...
That's fucked up.
Suicided.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the fucking... that shipping container they found with 39 dead bodies in it?
No, where was this?
It was in the lower UK, and it was they just found out they were all Vietnamese, and it was all meant to be human trafficking. But someone told me it was like a freezer though, and that they had frozen to death.
It was a truck container, I know that.
Fucked up, man.
I don't know if it was air quality or what, but.
And they found it in the morning. Like I remember hearing about this in the morning news, and that made it seem so much more fucked up. It was like 9 a.m. They're like 39 bodies in a fucking. Oh man, the world's a crazy place.
I know.
What a positive note we've gotten to here.
Yeah.
Back to your country. Do you know what your national tree is?
Quinoa tree.
They wrote it Quinchona or Cinchona.
Yeah, it's probably quinoa.
Quinoa? Like quinoa? Like
Quinoa with a U.
the healthy food quinoa?
No, not a no.
Oh,
Because
okay.
When they brought it to North America, they started saying, "Look, I'll have some quinoa."
Quinoa, yeah.
I hate.
So it is the same thing we're talking about, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
they wrote Cinchona. I gotta imagine that's something else.
Yeah.
You fail.
Yeah, you failed this time. But yeah, it's on your passport. Like, it's like.
Oh yeah, they have a little picture of it.
Yeah, there's a quinoa tree, goblet with gold, and
Cool.
vicuña. It's like the
Nice.
cute cousin of the llama.
Oh, cool. It's sour though too.
What?
You said, oh, the llama.
The llama,
I
yeah.
thought you said the lemon.
No.
Oh, llama. They already have a cousin. Alpaca is like that too, right?
We have llamas, alpacas, vicuñas, and guanacos.
And they're all the same kind of like
Yeah, they're
long
camelids,
neck and.
yeah.
Oh, weird. I didn't know there was more.
Yeah.
We learn everything on Just Chill with Oliver George, specifically about Peru and llamas on this episode. But
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to talk with someone and saying you're Peruvian, and like they have to ask about llamas.
oh, really?
At
Yeah,
some
I
point.
think I have heard
It's
that.
funny. It's funny. For
It's
them.
like Canada and maple syrup or something, right?
Yeah.
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 But you don't mind. Yeah, llamas are cool for the most part,
llamas are
right?
super cool.
They're pretty nice.
Except
they spit, I
when
guess.
spit on you, but I have never been spit, so I'm good with them.
Yeah, they bring them to petting zoos and shit for kids,
Yeah.
so they can't spit that often. I think that's more of a camel thing,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, but they spit a lot too. Like it depends if they are.
Have you seen someone get spat?
Yeah. It's
Oh.
like a big chunk of like grass and.
I have to tell
saliva.
this story now. Someone told me, and only one or two people know this person. I'm not going to say his name. It doesn't matter. This is a story he told me. It's a roommate I used to have. I'm not even friends with the guy, but he told me that he went to a zoo they have in Ottawa, which a lot of people don't like. I don't even know if they're still open. The Papanack Zoo. We went there a lot, but they got shamed because they were like mistreating animals and shit, apparently. Anyways, but this guy told me that when he went on like field trip with his class in grade 6 or whatever, there was a little baboon there or a fucking monkey or something, and he was really loud and he always had a boner. And I know this was true because I've been there before, before I knew they were like mistreating the animals. And we had seen him like humping the cage holes and stuff. But my friend told me that in front of a bunch of his friends, the monkey apparently came on him. Like apparently, I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know why you would make that story up. You know what I mean?
What do you do with your life in school after that? Like,
Well, yeah, he said everybody like made fun of him for it. That's why I believed him, right? The whole story sounded like so weird to.
amazing.
Anyways, yeah, he got jerked off on by a monkey. I don't know how you don't see that coming, but I guess I didn't even actually try for that, but I'll take it. No, but honestly, I actually meant that. I don't know how you wouldn't see that coming. Like he,
like if you see a monkey, like
yeah, he was always. I guess so. I still stood around him when he had his boner, and I never thought he was gonna jizz. So I guess could have been me. That's a hilarious sort of note to lead off on. We should probably wrap it up, but I do want to ask you a question I've been asking everybody.
Sure.
Which, if you've seen my podcast, you probably know.
Yeah.
But which superpower would you have if you could have any superpower?
It's a hard question. I think I would like to have Flash superpowers.
What, like being super speed?
Yeah, but also like moving around time, you know.
Oh yeah, because
Like
he can
both.
bend time.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, people do this. We can't. I told Chris in the second episode, he said the Force. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
The Force is like 7 powers. So I'm going to disqualify that answer.
Oh, okay.
You have to, you can't say like a character. You have to say one power.
Just
So
one,
super
okay.
speed then?
I don't know anymore.
Or
like,
time travel. Time travel seems like a slippery bitch.
Yeah,
Seems like
because
you're going to
you
be
can
like,
go
this
back-
is great. And then 2 days later, you're going to be like, what the fuck did I do to the world?
Or you just like go back at some point and then you start disappearing because like
Oh, because you like fucked up your own history somehow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's too tricky. I don't know. Unless you had like only really like low level time travel, you
Yeah.
could like go back 5 minutes. that should be a
Not
superhero.
fall
When
in
your
the floor.
coffee was hot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little things, you know.
I think I would
Get to the bathroom before you threw up that night when you were drunk, or instead of on the couch or something, you know.
I think I would either have super speed or fly. I think I would fly. I think flight would
I feel like flight is almost one of those ones that I might like disqualify in the future, because it seems like such a go-to answer that like everybody wants to be able to fucking fly, especially if you can do it well and with ease and like.
Yeah, but I mean, like everyone wants to travel, and I feel like lots of the other powers, they can have like a really weird
double-edged sword kind of,
Like
you could get caught in a jet engine or something, but
like I would love to like have psychic powers or read people's minds, but
but can you shut it off? Yeah. Well, I mean, some details like that, I feel like we should be able to decide.
I'd love to move stuff with my mind.
That's what Chris ended up saying. After I told him he couldn't just have the force, he said telekinesis. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever said mine, but I might have said it the first time. But I think it'd be really cool to be able to shapeshift and like. Maybe it's just because I think I'd be able to be really funny. Like you could fuck with so many people and just impersonate any celebrity all of a sudden, you know, for a bit or whatever. Like I just think shape change would be so funny.
That would be so funny. Yeah, you're right.
Shit, man. I guess like that's pretty much it. I told you if you wanted to bring something or draw something to put on the wall. We can do that after we wrap here, though.
Yeah,
but
I'll draw something and then we can put the picture on there.
Yeah, it's just about kind of creating the atmosphere so that like everybody who comes kind of leaves a piece of themselves and adds to the mosaic, you know. Awesome, and then we always high five at the end. Thanks, man. Hope you come for more board game nights and jam soon and shit. And I should say that's about it. Enjoy the new camera setup. We'll be doing this from now on. So bye. Thanks.
Bye. Well. That's great.